Assalamualaikum. Welcome to ATN Bangla. This is Shafiq with the news. First, the UP headlines. Awami League achieves that hat-trick. Grand Alliance gets absolute majority. Narendra Modi felicitates Sheikh Hasina. People gave verdict in favor of the spirit of liberation, war and development, opined political analysts. Implementing promises by taking opposition alliance into confidence urged. And Election Commission cannot avoid responsibility of violence and killings although the election was held peacefully, opined local and foreign observers. Now on to the details. Awami League President Sheikh Hasina is going to form government for the third consecutive term. Awami League-led Grand Alliance has won absolute majority in the 11 parliamentary polls held yesterday, bagging 259 out of 298 seats. Jatiyo Party won 20, BNP 5, Workers' Party 3, Ganaforum 2, Bikolpodhara 2, Torikot Federation 1, Jatiyo Party JP 1, and Independent 3 seats. Meanwhile, re-election in 3 centres of Brahmanbaria 2 constituency would be held afresh. Election in Gaibandha 3 constituency, which was postponed owing to the death of a candidate, would be held on 27th of January. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has felicitated Awami League President Sheikh Hasina for her victory. He congratulated Hasina through telephonic conversation this morning. Earlier, General Secretary Ram Madhav of the ruling party of India, BJP, congratulated Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir over telephone for the overwhelming victory. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said Awami League registered a landslide victory in the election as the people gave their mandate in favor of the politics of peaceful development enunciated by her government. While exchanging views with foreign journalists at Ganabhavan this afternoon, she reiterated her unflinching faith in transfer of power democratically through peaceful means. Sheikh Hasina expressed her government's zero tolerance against drug, terrorism, militancy and corruption. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has assured 100% fulfillment of the election promises made by his party. Exchanging greetings with party leaders and workers in Noakhali, he said Awami League does not believe politics of violence. Obaidul Qadir said, taking lessons from the past, the trend of development would be maintained in future also. At this time, he called upon the Awami League leaders and workers to keep patience with the opposition while celebrating the massive victory. Meanwhile, Awami League Joint General Secretary Abdur Rahman has said demand of Oikyo Front for re-election is illogical and against the mandate given by the people. He said this at a press conference held at Party President's Dhanmondi office this morning. He thanked the people and the voters for giving landslide victory to Awami League during yesterday's election. Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda has said he is satisfied with the voting and there has been no irregularity involving the polling. In a post-election briefing at the EC, he said 80% electorates had cast their votes in the 11th parliamentary election held yesterday. The CEC said, barring some isolated incidents, no major untoward occurrence took place during the polls. He, however, expressed sorrow for the loss of 14 lives. Observers and political analysts have opined that the election was a verdict in favor of the spirit of the liberation war and ongoing development trend. They, however, cautioned that the Prime Minister herself must ensure that the massive victory of one party and massive defeat of another does not bring about any disaster for the country. They called upon the ruling party to take appropriate steps to fulfill all the election pledges made to the people, taking the opposition into confidence. Local and foreign observers are of the view that the 11th parliamentary election was most peaceful in the history of Bangladesh. According to them, the election was held in free, fair and neutral way like in any other developed country. At a news conference at National Press Club, they also said the voters could cast their votes freely. But the Election Commission cannot avoid the responsibility of violence and killings during the polls, they added. Election in Bangladesh has been widely covered in the international media. BBC, captioning its story as Sheikh Hasina's victory, said the landslide win brought her to power for the third consecutive term. Al Jazeera, reporting Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's victory in national parliamentary election for the fourth time, also mentioned rejection of the poll results by the main opposition party. India's NDTV captioned its story, overwhelming victory for Sheikh Hasina, opposition calls for a fresh vote. Kolkata-based dailies including Anandabajar, Pratidin and Times of India in their stories hailed Bangladesh's mandate for democratic sojourn for another 5 years through the 11th parliamentary elections. And that is the end of this bulletin. To view ATN Bangla News, browse www.youtube.com/ATNTubeNews. Subscribe and remain with ATN Bangla. Allah Hafiz.